Hello, fiery tubers, and welcome back to Let's Play Final Fantasy 1 Mod Balance with me, BlueAnkylo, and our very successful party of Light Warriors who completely by surprise killed the Merilith, or Carrie as she was formerly known, and moved on to 2 orbs lit before we were promoted or cleared the ice cave or any of that stuff that I usually do. So, last episode, in my desire to not sequence break too badly and still get good rewards, I kind of tried to... We were just planning on doing like a treasure dive in the volcano to try to gear up and get some money and maybe a level up or two, knowing that the ice cave is often terrible. But instead, things went so well, we actually ended up killing Merilith. I guess it was our second run, technically. We did a top-level treasure dive, and then that didn't work out terribly well. But the second run actually was quite strong. The fire hydras we were finding down there were like the big threat. Fire dragons and fire hydras. I guess there probably was also fire giants. I don't think we ever saw any, though. They're... I don't know if they're just rare or if we just got lucky, but we never ran into those specific enemies. I also don't remember running into red piranhas in these rivers back in the original days, the old days. Not that they stand up to AoE magic very well anyway, so... We should probably get one more level up for Melior. I am noticing that people still only get 2 attacks per round at level 20. That's a bit sad. Jade has access to level 5 magic as well, so our trip back to Melman today will be doubly valuable. And I think I'm going to go back to Melman before we spend money in Crescent Lake. I know I've got, 54,000 gold, and I could buy some weapons and armor, but I want to make sure we get our magic first, and then we'll talk about extra equipment. Should probably save it every now and then. Also, Melior... you'll get your level up soon enough. I was thinking, he's lagging behind a little bit. He seems to die on, like, all the bosses, so he doesn't get boss experience. So that's kind of unfortunate for him. But yeah, we're halfway done the game. It's not exactly accurate, but we are 2 fiends down, and there's only 2 left. But before we get to the next fiend, we will have quite a lot of side quests to do. Typically, I would have done the Ice Cave, probably the Waterfall, and Crescent Lake all before the Volcano. That's my usual route, is Ice Cave, Castle of Ordeals, and then the Waterfall, and then we go to the Volcano. But that's not what we did. Okay, so we have access to level 5 magic. So what do we have that we want? Only Melior can learn stuff like Life, Diera, Curaga. We could technically give Protara to Jade, but I would be willing to bet that Beret will eventually get that as well, although it might take him a while. But I kind of like Beret as the buffer, and Jade, maybe, also buffing. Haste is too important not to have. This would have doubled our damage output to Merilith. Also, like... I'm a sucker for offensive magic, so like I really like Firaga and Scourge. So for now, I'm gonna give Haste only to Jade, because Melior will get more damage out of Scourge. But I'd like to have Firaga as well. Stun, like, might be useful, but like I've got too many good spells here that I have to balance. I think Protara is probably pretty good. It's probably like plus 10 or 12 or 14 absorbed to the whole party, and it probably only stacks up to 40 or something in this mod, but it's still a nice bonus for the whole group. And we got a lot of good work out of it in, the Protect spell in the Solo White Mage Challenge, so that was certainly, it proved its worth. Diera is also a spell that like a lot of enemies are weak to, so it could be valuable to have that. I think I have to have somebody with the life spell right now, just to save on Phoenix Downs. Although, sadly, Melior is usually the one that dies, so it doesn't help as much as I would like. I'm just going to skip Kiriga, so it's just what secondary spells do we get? I'm pretty sure Beret, assuming he can learn them, I'll give him Haste and Protera, and something else. If he can learn anything else, I'll give him Haste and Protera. Firaga is traditionally good. I'm going to give Scourge because I think the poison, because it's been changed, I think we're going to get a lot of value out of the Scourge spell for wiping groups. And then we're not going to have Dira right now because it's probably still less useful overall. But I'll pick up... I'm just going to save this spot. I've spent so much money. I'm going to stop there. We don't actually have a big boss fight for a while anyway, so we don't need that stuff right now. Let's sell some of this extra stuff. Like, that's worth a lot of money, and it's not very good for anybody that's in the party. So if we just get rid of this stuff, suddenly the bank account is looking a lot better. We have that extra power staff. Oh, yeah, we got that flame stuff. This was the one I was thinking, like, grind on those fire lizards or the agamas and get a bunch of these. That would have been really nice for money. You know, these mithril equipments that we got from the last dungeon, they may not be upgrades, but at least we get the money for selling them, so it's not... Like, we actually have a pretty good stock of cash right now. I could buy Protera, but I think the truth is, I think the money's going to be better spent buying a couple pieces of equipment so that we can prep for the ice cave. Because now we got to go to the ice cave for today's episode, and if I can buy something to keep Melior alive a little bit longer, I think that would be worth it. Let's show off Scourge. It's fairly expensive. Not as expensive as Firaga, but it's instead of just instant death, it does poison elemental damage. And it seems to do a lot of poison elemental damage. And I think a surprising number of enemies are actually weak to poison. So it's got... I feel like it's probably got some pretty good value. These are also... trolls, I think, are weak to fire. So, like, if you want to burn them down, this is the kind of fight that's going to go faster if I cast magic now. And Firaga looks pretty awesome. So the fact that we've got level 5 magic is pretty cool. Even if it's no ice spell. We'll get ice 3 eventually. Okay, first off... let's cape it to 10 Phoenix Downs. I wonder if Holy Water is considered Dira. If this is the same as Dira, the, you know, harm 2 essentially, then the spell is not very valuable because you can just spend money on it and just do that. I want to have a few spare tents. It would be nice to have a few of these for emergencies, even though they're very expensive. Alright, so I'm thinking equipment for Melior. Do I buy him a wizard's hat? The Protect Cloak is not as good. Oh, right, because I bought him the very expensive Elven Cloak. Minerva's Robe is probably too expensive. Sage's Surplus, I think I should buy him. Like, I'm worried that we're going to find one of these for free in the next dungeon. But it's an upgrade. And it gives him intelligence. It's an upgrade and it's going to give him intelligence. And then we're going to get a free set of ice armor in the next dungeon. And a free ice shield in the next dungeon. So we don't need too many more of those unless we want to really stack up on elemental protection. Like, giving everyone ice protection would probably help because all the enemies are going to have ice spells in the next dungeon. That's probably a sensible decision. So there you go, Sage's Surplus. Let me just have a look at how much the stats go up here. So Melior has 31 intelligence. And now he has 36. And now he has 41. So plus 10 intelligence. That'll make his magic go even farther. He could definitely use some better gloves, but... well, honestly, the wizard's hat's not much better than the feathered cap. You lose a lot of evasion for 1 defense. But there's not much else I can do right now, so... I'd rather have that 5 intelligence and just hope he doesn't get killed, basically. lots of weapons. Oh, there's that Ashura. There's the Flame Staff. Probably not worth it to buy weapons very often because you get pretty good weapon drops. Might be worth it to buy... I think we'll get one Ice Shield for sure. And one Ice Armor for sure. So what if I went like this? Just going into the Ice Cave. I know we spent a lot of money. We'll get it back eventually. What if we go in with everybody in the front having ice protection? Ice shield, ice armor, ice shield. Two people will have fire protection, which shouldn't matter in the ice cave, and 3 people will have ice protection. And I think we get a free flame sword in there anyway. So we're getting rid of some of our generic equipment and kind of upgrading to elemental protection, which is quite nice. It cost a bit of money, no doubt, but I think that will work. And I'm just like, I'm not 100% sure what the item drops in the next dungeon will be, but I'm pretty sure that, you know, that was what it was in the original game, was you know, one of each sort of armor, shield, sword, and that'll have to do. Dark Claymore, why is it... Yeah, the Flame Sword is actually less damage than the Ice Brand. But the Dark Claymore is way more damage. Wow, that's actually quite strong. Whatever, I'm not going to worry about it right now. We've already spent enough money. Hopefully Beret unlocks level 5 magic soon. I have a feeling Melior will not get level 6 magic for a while, which is kind of a shame because, you know, we already have access to level 6 magic, and it might take a while before we can actually learn any. Alright, well, that's pretty much it for prep. Let's head on over to the Ice Cave. Well, we could definitely do some level grinding. Let's get Melior a level up real quick. It should only take like a couple encounters, because he's not very far off. And we have access to Scourge, which these guys are probably strong to. But now that Melior has a plus 10 intelligence, his spell should actually look quite impressive. Even if they're not weak to fire. 250 to 350, that's not bad. And they got more intelligence and another power plus, so, you know, that's never a bad fight to take. Alright, so again, I'm sure we could grind up another couple levels if you wanted, but that's not how I'm gonna play. We're still only getting 2 attacks in, right? Yeah. 2 times 65. That's kind of crazy. It's hard to get your per hit that high in the original game. Like, even the Mazmune was only plus 50 damage, I think. So even with, like, a pretty good strength stat, you weren't going to get a whole lot past 60, 70, 80 damage per hit. In this one, with the Ice Brand, a relatively mid-level sort of weapon, the Knight is already hitting the 60s. Just not hitting very often, unfortunately. Alright, so this is always my friendly shortcut to the Ice Cave. I'd rather sail the seas and take a short river ride than take the rivers all the way up from Crescent Lake. You can, but I think it's more dangerous. So while we're in the river, we may as well use Thundera. The enemy's probably weak to it overall. Not bad experience. See if I can make it to the Ice Cave today. It's not a terribly long dungeon. The problem is more some of the encounters are terrible. This was always like the worst dungeon for solo runs and for NES in general, just because so many things could go wrong in here. So we better put at least one save down. Preemptive strike on the mummies, though. That's nice. So they should all die. I actually probably don't need to spend magic here, but, you know, we can warp out of here if we run out of MP. So I'd rather burn a little bit of extra MP early and then warp out if we have to and start over, than save my MP and just die or something. Actually, the Pisco Demons, I I over worry because they used to hit... I don't think they hit as hard as they did in the NES version in this mod, in this remake. So you always want to take out the cockatrices first. They've got potentially the stone touch glance type abilities that'll essentially turn you to stone. Now specters might be strong enough that I should take them seriously. We'll find out. Ice 1, basically. That hits pretty hard. Good thing I equipped anti-ice protection on everybody. Or else Victus would be dead, for sure. He would have been taking, like, double damage there. And that would have definitely killed him. Now, I wasn't smart enough to go stock up on potions. So that might be one of my mistakes for this dungeon. We could have come in here with 99 potions. How much does Null Frost cost? 5 MP, well worth it. If we can get that off before... So 2 Firas pretty much kills them all. It's not terrible. These guys aren't too bad. They're actually not doing a whole lot of stun touch, like is the more annoying ability. So, interesting combination here. The vampires are a lot stronger than the NES version because of the they were sort of given boss status in the Dawn of Souls remake, so you got to take them a little bit more seriously than the old days. They could have always hit you fairly hard, but let's try out the Flame Staff on them. But they didn't have very many HP, basically, in the original. They get a lot more HP now. You can use the Flame Staff for 100 damage. That's something. Got a Stamina Plus. Ooh, that's the first time we've got one of those. Who needs more... Melior needs more Stamina. I don't even know exactly what Stamina is going to do in this mod. But if it has anything to do with HP or defense, he's the one that gets it. 100%. Maybe it gives you more HP or something. Alright, we're getting a lot of these encounters. This would be nice time to have Dira, but I don't have it. Instantly stunned and almost killed. That's the problem. It's pretty good damage. You can definitely see Melior's magical damage is scaling up there a lot faster. So, nice to see. 50 damage to Melior. And magically killed Victus. Great. Wasted my items. That's freaking amazing. I don't know. Okay, Spectres having pain is actually really bad, because a big group of them would be a huge problem. If they all cast pain, we would die bad. That would be nasty. And they keep stun locking people and killing people before I can do anything about it. So this is becoming a really bad encounter really fast. That was not optimal at all. That was terrible. And now I have to spend a lot of MP trying to heal everybody up. One good thing about buffing Melior's intelligence is he will get more bang for his buck with healing as well as for offensive magic. So let's fight some mages here and see what this is here. I think it might be time to like clear this floor, get some treasure, and then warp out to heal. We'll see how I feel. Oh, a Sage's Surplus! I'm so glad I spent that money. Classic. That treasure chest used to have a cloth armor that was basically garbage. Flame... It'll probably do more damage in this dungeon. Wow. It's kind of a shame. Usually the Ice Brand is way better than the Mithril Axe. Huh. Alright. Now there's a neat trick. I don't think it actually works here. There's a neat trick in the NES version where if you warp, you go to the tile you left the last floor on. And you could open up the floater sort of by glitch. Yeah, this one takes us to the staircase. That's fine. I wanted to leave anyway. I just wasn't sure how that would work. I was kind of curious. It doesn't take you to the staircase you entered the floor on in the NES version. It takes you to the tile you left the last floor on. So you could have used it to kind of cheese the floater out kind of early, if you have warp early, which is only the sort of thing that would happen in a randomizer. Because you have to get the floater before you can get promoted, before you can learn warp normally. Alright, so that was our first dive. It wasn't the worst, but we learned a few things. We learned that Pisco Demons we can mostly fast forward through. Nothing too much to worry about. These guys are bad news bears, and they might be worth just burning a Firaga on to definitely kill them all. Because if they get a second round, they start casting Pain, which is really bad. I think they have to cast Blizzard first, which isn't too bad. But now my problem is I don't have any potions. So I gotta conserve that MP, basically. Maybe we can just run. Yeah, it might be better to just kind of try to zip through this if possible, where we can. A little bit worried about this fight. Like, I'm not sure what's gonna happen down here. They should be weak to fire, probably. They didn't hit Victus very hard, so that's good. We never actually ran into a Fire Gygus, oddly enough. Alright, everyone's got reasonable amounts of HP. Let's, the Melior took a big hit. Even Victus took a pretty big hit. We should be fine in one more round if we can survive it. Alright, we're good. Not too bad. I wouldn't be surprised if those guys have some pretty nice drops. Haven't checked anything since the Ice Cave. So piranhas, red piranhas. Red piranha, there's so much different. We fought an Ochu. Silver Apple would be nice, extra HP. Kotetsu's just for money, basically. Ice Gygus, they dropped the Ice Brand. Well, we know how much money those are worth, so you definitely want to kill them. Also, they're weak to lots of stuff. Even Scourge as well as Firaga. Spectres, only Dia, not Fire, interestingly enough. Black Robes from the Dark Wizard would be really nice. King Mummy has a pretty expensive sword, Fire and Dia. Alright. Learning. I do worry about Melior's MP. He just... I guess I've got a couple ethers. I spent some money. It's okay. It's okay. Let's just get out of here. That was... so much damage. I guess we probably take less damage than if we fought, but dang. Sure adds up fast. Alright, so we're going to have to do a forced encounter here. This is a kind of a scary one. I'm going to definitely throw out fire and... I'm just going to do double Fira, even though they're only weak to Dia, the guys in the back. Stunned and blind and just murdered. That's brutal. Status ailments, man. That was not a lot of damage to the vampire there. Alright, we killed everything but the vampires. That helps a lot. That's really good. The vampires are tough, but they're not unreasonably tough. As they kill Beret in like one hit. Alright, we're good. Lots of experience. We're doing just fine, guys. No worries. Although those of you who know the Ice Cave know where we're going next. You're worried about going to this room. Double Ice Dragon, or White Dragon. We're definitely going to cast Null Frost, and we're just going to start trying to nuke them as fast as we can. They're going to hit fairly hard. They have Blizzard, or they probably have Blizzard anyway. And the fact that they didn't use Blizzard on the first round is quite lucky. Ah, we're good. We already got one down. There's the Ice Storm. Blizzard actually didn't do as much damage as I expected, so not bad. There's that Ice Armor. It's actually not as powerful defensively as the Knight's Armor, just evasively. Interesting. Well... I'm actually not going to equip that right now. Well, no. Well... There's nothing in here that's going to use fire magic, so it doesn't really matter. But later on, it'd be better to have a broad spectrum of elemental protection. Yeah, my biggest mess up for this dungeon is I did not bring potions. I really... Every dungeon we do in this mod, I make some big mistake. The big one here was not bringing potions, for sure. Potions and therefore running out of MP, basically. Oh, there's the one-shotting Melior with Blizzard. That's friggin' great. Why do we always go just slow enough that we don't get the spell off in time? Frick. I actually think we probably should run. Well... Probably should have just ran at that point, but we did survive. Man, that's it. I guess we have a dry ether. Waste it in the ice cave because I didn't bring friggin' potions. It's just, one of the things they've really done is they've really kneecapped your MP in this game. All the spells cost more and you get less MP. So, and you take more damage, and you need to use magic more often, so, you know, it all adds up. Alright, prepare yourselves. Frost Wolves! These guys usually aren't too bad, but if they got a really powerful ice attack, or if their ice attack just got buffed, we'll be in for a bit of pain. Luckily, they're weak to fire, and they got wiped out really easily. Viking Axe, what do you think? Probably just for selling, right? Probably just for selling. Oh, that's a shame. You know, I probably could have got that treasure from the back and been fine. Now, this is an interesting encounter. I don't actually know if this is good for experience or not. Temper's kind of scary, but they should all die before they get any attacks in. As long as you got the MP for it, basically. Yeah, you know what? That was quite a lot of money. And we got the Falcon drop, but that's not a very expensive sword, so... This is gonna suck. We need... I have to... Sheesh, because they're going to use pain. And they're going to be a real pain in the rear. I'm going to use Firiga here because I need them to die. There it is. Probably Victus dead. Okay, it actually didn't do as much damage as I was expecting. Maybe a waste of MP because I thought they'd be more dangerous, but I guess better safe than sorry, right? Goodbye, like 3,000 gold just down the drain like that. The good news is, I'm pretty sure, in my estimation, I've got enough resources to finish this cave. It's just like, man, if I had just bought all of those potions, this would have been fine. Usually there's no white crocs in this dungeon either. This is unusual. They usually stay in their rivers up in the northern continents. But we're almost done. There can't be very many more random encounters. We're almost out of here. 9,500. And this is usually the ice shield, which is technically better than the flame shield, but again, I don't really care much. I guess I spent that money a little bit early, but I felt it was better to go into this dungeon already having ice protection than to get it at the end of the dungeon. Right? I'm just going to put a save in just in case I overstep here. Usually doesn't happen. So the Evil Eye could be really bad. I don't actually know what to expect out of this guy. I don't know. Normally they just get like death magic and status stun type magic. I guess we'll see if he does anything here. Firiga seems to hit pretty hard. Gaze is damage? Isn't that normally a status spell? Well, we don't have any magic that stops statuses right now, unfortunately. no... I think I throw the holy water on him. I think it's like Dira, I think. I should have healed up Victus. Oh, never mind, he's good. Okay. Most importantly, we got the Levistone. Hooray! So, just for interest's sake, the Eye is a fight that you do often grind against, because typically he's quite easy to kill. Of course, it's ice armor from the White Dragon. Weak to lightning, interestingly. Ice shields from Winter Wolves. I think you could probably get quite a few of those, because they come in big packs, and you can fight them in the Power Peninsula and around Leafeon, so... They're fairly easy, low HP, 1 Fire 2 should kill them, that's not bad. There's your Evil Eye, so he drops Mind Plus, which is really good. Those are really nice items to stack up your intelligence so you do more magic damage. I guess we'll fight a couple. He's weak to darkness, oddly enough. I guess it's because he's a giant eyeball. That's actually not that unusual. I don't want to fight very many of them because my resources are pretty low. But I'd love to get a couple Mind Plus if I could. I know we've had some comments about that as well. It's just, I don't think I'm at a high enough level to really grind them easily. You need to be able to kill them in like 1 or 2 rounds to do a quick grind. And yeah, of course, he's got like elemental magic that we have no protection against. So I don't think this is a good idea right now. Maybe later. There will be more of them in... I'll fight one more, but well, there will be more eyes in the Flying Fortress. And we can always come back to this guaranteed tile if... Oh! That's actually kind of scary if they come in doubles. Well, now we know they have Thundera early. They're weak to darkness. I could try to blind them. But they probably only cast magic anyway, right? Oh well. There's that weird gaze. I don't know what that's... why that's a physical damage type thing, but... There's Thundera. At least I got the Null Shock off early. So blind didn't even hit them anyway. That's classic. Should probably heal her. Hopefully Victus kills one right now, because we're going to be taking a lot of damage here. Alright, that's a little bit better. I'm pushing my luck, trying to win this fight. Okay, we're good. Lots of experience. I mean, they are a classic grind target. Make no mistake. Lots of good experience from that fight. All right, let's get out of here. Just cast warp until we get out. We can learn exit at level 6, probably. Actually, definitely, because we don't have class changes like in the original game, so... And we're free! Look at that! We made it through the ice cave without too much pain. I still feel like we're missing a lot of stuff in terms of, like, random drops, but there's no guarantee, and I'm not in the mood to do a lot of, random drop grinding on stream, or on video, anyway. So, that's not gonna happen right now. But, yeah, now that we have the floater... things are going to get a lot easier to get around, and the Levistone, I guess, whatever you want to call it. It's a rock that floats. But now that we've got that, getting around will be a lot easier, and I just need to remind myself, Blue, not only do you need mind bombs and antidotes, you need to buy a bunch of potions. Don't be dumb. Don't be lazy. And then we got some more stuff to sell for money, so that's good. Alright, that's all for today. Thanks for watching, folks. Hope you've enjoyed. Next episode, we'll explore the world. See you there.